Oh my goodness. Hey, you guys. We made it, but barely. But we made it. We are literally just getting into town. So hopefully some of you did not give up on us and we'll have somebody to hang out with tonight. We'll see what happens. I know David has to find me. You get the joy of finding me once a week, baby. He's like, mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. That's what I got, you guys. I cannot believe I cannot find parchment paper. Like, or
Okay,
even...
I can hear you. So we'll see if they can hear me.
Did you hear you?
I gotta wait. Okay, now I can hear me. So now here's the fun part. I get to go to YouTube to see because I only brought one set of headphones because
we just got in like
we literally just got
20 minutes ago from Phoenix by way of Tucson. So we're barely getting here.
That was a long drive.
It was. But we got to spend the weekend with the boy, with the baby.
So Tori Alexander on YouTube says, I can hear you both. And then Tommy Smith says, I hear you. And Tori comes in right behind and says, here.
Yes, we knew what you meant. We got you, girl. We know.
All right, so that means I can close you out of this one and bring you back on that one.
I wonder if, let me see if I can grab a picture out of the cloud.
I can take all that off. Thank you.
And it's not there yet.
Lori Scott on YouTube said, had to look, make sure it was Sunday. I can hear you both. Absolutely Fab Fine says they can hear as well. Thank you.
Thank you.
On Facebook, we have Shaz Conabier, Patricia Keaton, Patricia Casita. I hope I'm pronouncing that right, or is it Cassidy? I don't know. Barbara Whistler Garrels, Cassandra Smith, Mama Bear Blue, Kathleen O'Brien Hoovis, and Teresa Spicer thus far.
Hello. Thank you guys so much for joining us. I know we're late tonight. We're so sorry. We drove to Phoenix. Well, we went to go meet artists at an event in Mesa. They got rained out. But
well, before we do anything, we should explain the sound.
Oh, okay, yeah. So what had happened was I forgot to plug in the iPad before we left to go to Phoenix, and we literally just got here like 30 minutes ago, maybe,
if
that. And so we don't have any power. And Apple was so wonderful. A few years they decided to only have one access to the devices, so we either get to have power or microphones. So we voted for power because I have like 25% right now. So that's why we're working off of. We're wondering about the sound because we're not using our mics tonight. So if the sound is a little different, we apologize. But I didn't want to not come on. I was determined to get here tonight to hang out with you guys.
Everybody likes the orange on you, although it's not really
orange. Thank you. I love this color.
It's more of a what?
Like a coppery.
Roach copper?
Yeah.
But you probably should show the logo on it.
Oh, but then I'll have to chop off my afro.
No, you just kind of stand up a little bit.
Oh, yeah. It has Roycycled. It's a Roycycled t-shirt. This is the early logo, though.
That's right. And everybody's going to want it. That's why I'm saying. So that you can explain.
Yeah. So you guys know, like, when you're going through things, you're experimenting along the way and you learn things. So what I learned was that this t-shirt is too stretchy to really support the ¿cómo se dice? What do you call this?
Boobies.
No. Oh my gosh.
I had to.
I know. The silk screen. Yeah. Or even vinyl because it stretches. So it's all cracky. It's cracked. So I don't have these shirts and that's why. I tried to get like all different colors early on, and
yeah, these were test shirts.
Yeah, I do love these. I think all of my like female close relatives have one of these, so I think this is the only one I have. Too. Yeah.
Up here.
Oh yeah, because it's on that stretchy material.
So. Yep. See, I knew it. Where can we get your T-shirt?
You guys, I have T-shirts on my website. They're gray though. They're a heather gray, and you guys can find them at roycycled.com. Actually, roycycled.equid.com. You guys can find the t-shirts on there. I have aprons too. I have cute aprons, and then I have some. I think they're both cute, but I have some that have like the recycled paper designs on them, and I have some that have, um, just the logo on the front. But should we get started? Oh, we said hi to everybody. I'm sorry, y'all. I need y'all to
No,
give
no,
me grace
we
today.
said our hellos. We
Okay.
can get started.
I need grace today, y'all, because we decided, well, not last minute. We kept going back and forth about what we're going to do this weekend, kind of. And then my niece had a baby, and I had to go see the baby. She's so little. Anyways, so
9
we
days
went.
old.
9 days old. So we made the trip to Phoenix so we could go see the baby and hopefully meet artists. But
there was supposed to be an artist gathering focusing on artists of color.
Yes.
So we really wanted to try, and we've been trying to get to that one like 3 times in a row.
Yeah.
And we always have a conflict. So this seemed like the perfect time. See a baby during the day, see the artists at night.
But Phoenix had rain this weekend, y'all.
And
And not like a little bit of rain either.
And we left. We planned to leave early, and we left like we normally do.
We always plan.
Yeah, we got there late.
Best laid plans. Best laid plans.
But it turned out the rain rained out the artists because they had to be outside and inside.
Yes.
So we didn't get a chance to see them.
But anyways, so we made like a turnaround trip to Phoenix, and we got back a little late, and then we went to Tucson because we had the grandbaby, and my son went with us this weekend. And so we took the grand back to mom in Tucson on the way back from Phoenix. So we've been on the road all weekend. On the road again. I just can't wait to not be on the road again. So for tonight's project, I was trying to see, Apple is supposed to like, the devices are supposed to sync, but I took a snapshot of the poll. So for those of you who are insiders, right? You guys got to email, and you guys had an opportunity to vote on whether or not we should continue on with the snow globe project that we started, or if you guys are ready to move on to something new.
It's right behind you.
And so, huh?
It's right behind you.
Yeah, I know. I'm going to show you guys what I'm doing in just a few minutes. So you guys voted for me to go ahead and finish this, which I will. I didn't have time this week, but you guys see how the resist turned out with the letters? I think it turned out just like, I love it. I think it's fabulous. And so I have to finish this project, and I will, but I haven't yet. But we're going to move on to a fabric project. And so, I have here, this is just like a really inexpensive little canvas bag. I saw these at the Dollar Tree. Yeah, I did.
Oh, okay.
It just hasn't done it yet.
Oh.
I saw these at the Dollar Tree, you guys, for $1.25 a piece online. I don't know if they're actually in the stores, but I did see some online. I got these on Amazon. I think I paid like $1.50 a piece, maybe. And I thought that these would be super cute to do artwork on and then give us gift bags. So that's what we're going to do tonight. I do have a piece of fabric down here because, believe it or not, I cannot find any parchment paper in my studio. We cleaned up. This is what happens. Every time we clean up, I can find nothing.
We do have a question. Trisha Keaton asks, do you have vintage holiday music paper?
I do not. Well, I have papers with music notes on them, but I don't have just a sheet of music by itself, if that makes sense. But we do have an ephemeral project sheet that has music notes on it. It has like a page about this size of music notes, but I don't have just a whole page of music notes on it.
And on YouTube, Felicia Brown says, I still want a shirt that color. I know you don't make them, but every time you wear it, I want it.
I'm going to figure out a way to make them because I really do like the copper color, and I think it's on brand too. So it wouldn't be weird to have, a copper recycled shirt. My table is just getting worse and worse. And so, well, I'm going to work on it. And I also found these cute little like canvas little makeup bags. Wouldn't these be cute like stocking stuffers if you have granddaughters? You can do something on there. And we're actually doing a similar project for our make and takes for pinners. We have bags like this. The ones we chose for pinners are little like raffia. Is that what you call that, baby?
What?
The bags that I bought for Pinners for the Pinners conference, they're raffia, right?
Sure. I have no idea what that is.
They're like woven, but they're
Yeah.
essentially, and they're bigger than this. But those are the make and takes we'll be doing our booth at Pinners. But something like this would be super cute to give as a gift
Ooh,
because you
you
can
just teased
personalize it.
Pinners.
I did. It's only like 4 weeks away, less than 4 weeks. I'm
No,
freaking
but
out.
I don't think you've talked about what we're doing at Pinners.
For the make and take?
I don't think we've discussed it before tonight.
Maybe because I've just made up my mind, like recently, what we're actually going to do.
And that's fine.
So I have a lot of mess on my table, but this is what we're going to do, you guys. I have to iron my bag because whenever I do fabric projects, I always, if possible, wash them first. Because when you buy fabric, it looks all nice in the store because there's a sizing on there. And so that sizing can affect like how the fabric absorbs. Oh, I still have my bracelets on. How the fabric absorbs your products that you put on top. So I like to wash it. I just use regular detergent, but I also put a cup of vinegar in there to help strip that sizing out. So this bag has been washed. I was ironing when we were chatting and saying hello. So I have one of the handles ironed. I'm going to iron the other one really quickly and then iron the body, and then we can get started.
Barbara Garrell said, I found old sheet music and hymnals at the thrift stores, super for decoupage.
Yes. Yeah, especially if you can get the really old ones with the really thin pages. Those are fabulous. Or the old dictionaries too. That's where I started, you guys. I really do collect ephemera. So I collect old documents, old book pages, and my love for ephemera is hopefully reflected in most of my paper designs, not all of them. What is under here? Something is going on. And so I'm going to have to use this piece of muslin instead of parchment today because I can't find my parchment paper. But I'm winging it tonight. So you know how we talked about substitutions? What was that, a couple weeks ago? There might be some substitutions tonight, y'all, because I should know us better than to know we would get back here like early enough for me to be able to prep. The fact that we got back in time at all is a bit of a miracle. We're a bit of a dilly-dalliers when we travel. We didn't really dilly-dally today, though.
No, today was,
It's pretty focused.
it really was.
We had brunch at, what was it, the Jam?
Today's Jam, the main Jam.
Oh my goodness, I forgot. At some restaurant in Mesa with the word jam on it.
Tempe.
Oh, and Tempe, that's right. Right off of Mill Avenue. Was it on Mill Avenue?
I think it was on Mill Avenue.
So it was pretty good. They had red velvet
Waffles,
you guys. So I liked it, but the men folk didn't really. I mean, I don't think you disliked it, but you wouldn't have it again.
I wouldn't go back to it. It really needed the cream cheese, almost like a frosting on it. Otherwise, it was just a little too heavy for a waffle.
Yeah.
But it wasn't bad.
You guys see me spritzing this. I'm just spritzing it with water. I don't want to use starch, right? Because I just spent all that time washing the sizing out of it. So I don't want to replace it because starch, that's basically what starch is. It's a sizing agent. But so I don't want to use starch, but I just mix it with water just so I can get a nice flat surface for us to be able to work on because we're going to we're going to decoupage this bag tonight. We're going to document this bag.
What is the item you're using to
iron?
To iron.
This is my mini Cricut. It's my new best friend. I love it. Roycycled Carmen Dahmer sending me freebies.
Well, they're not coming to us.
No. Carmen scanned this fabulous book, and she is actually selling a USB for like $35. Too cheap, Carmen. You should charge more. That's a gonga deal, you guys. That includes shipping. And it's like 300 pages, I think. And there's music sheets, and there are and this book is from the late 1800s, I believe. Anyways, it's gorgeous. I'm so jealous. She scored it when she went to Vegas, I think. There's all kinds of stuff in there, like kid stories, and it's one of those old, back in the day when there wasn't as much information as there is now, and they could put like everything in one book. So there's readers in there, and there's music sheets, and there's articles about science and how to write a letter. Like everything is in there. Know what I mean?
She says 720 pages.
Okay. I was way off with the 300. 720 pages. That's a lot of pages. Okay. So I just wanted to iron that. You guys see how easy that was? Just iron that out. So when you wash it, it will wrinkle up, but it's not a big deal. I know we all have an aversion to iron. I do. I do. But for crafts, I'll take a hit for crafts. So, oh no. I kept going back and forth about what I was going to do. So I have my project here. I'm going to be using just a regular, this is just like a cotton duck fabric bag, right? And then I'm actually going to be using fabric Mod Podge tonight for this project. And I'm going to be using the Roycycled Christmas Masterboard decoupage paper. This was one of my favorites of the Christmas designs. Of course, I designed it. I probably should not pick my own for the favorites, but it's kind of full of my favorite things about Christmas. I love the fact that it's both neutral and colorful at the same time. It just has a few colors, is why, right? I love the authentic, like vintagey feel of it. And you guys have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 different project blocks on here, or you can use it as one, or you can just use the elements that are in there in order to create something fabulous. And so I have to just decide which piece I'm going to use because I want it to go back to our snow globe. Actually, I wanted to use the cloche. I cannot tell a lie, but y'all know I couldn't find it right now. So I'm going to use the snow globe. I cannot tell a lie. I won't lie and tell you guys, you know. See, that moves for the thing. Where is George? George cleaned up my shop this weekend. I can't find anything. So I have every stencil except for the cloche. George. And I'm sure it's tucked somewhere that makes perfect sense. I'm going to look over here again because all the stencils are right here except for the cloche. I don't know why not.
I like just the moose.
You like just, well, because, okay, so I was going to do the cloche and put something inside of the cloche is what I was going to do. Then I thought it might be super cute. Like, even if I do, whoops, I forgot I had tape on there. I need to be careful and take it off of there. Or I could do these little birdies. 3 little birds sitting on my doorstep. I could do the 2 little birds. Okay, you know what? We won't do a stencil. We are just tape it off and we'll put it on because my original plan I cannot execute and I don't know if I'm going to be satisfied with the shift. So I'm going to shift anyways, but we're going to shift in a different direction. I don't know what I want to use. This little deer is so sweet and it says Merry Christmas, right? This is super pretty. David likes the moose.
Marlene Mack asks, is fabric the same as dishwasher decoupage?
Dishwasher decoupage. I don't know of this dishwasher decoupage.
Felicia Brown on YouTube. I've been cleaning up my studio and finding things I forgot I had.
Oh yeah, girl. I found all kinds of stuff I had forgotten that I brought. I actually did a TikTok on it. A win is a win. A win is a win. Because I got to go shopping.
On Facebook, Kathleen Hoovis likes the deer.
The deer is super sweet, right?
Well, if you're trying to match the snow globe that you did.
Well, I've moved past the snow globe now.
Well, then the deer or the moose work.
Yeah, any of the pieces work now because we can put them on here. So what I'm doing is I'm taping it off because we're going to be putting product on the fabric and I only want to put product under the paper. I don't want to put it everywhere. And so I'm going to kind of tape this off so that I have a guide and I don't end up with product where I don't want it. I really wanted to use the cloche. I am so sad right now.
Angela Kennedy says, what is that paper called?
This is called the Christmas Master Board from Roycycled decoupage paper. And you can find it with Roycycled retailers. I hope there are some retailers on tonight. If you guys are here, please put the links to your websites where customers can find the decoupage papers and the stencils. So you guys can get the paper and the stencils with the retailers.
Angie Champagne says, does she mean dishwasher safe Mod Podge?
Oh, is there a dishwasher safe Mod Podge? They have so many formulas. I don't know. I would imagine if there's two different formulas, there's a reason. I would almost say. I don't know because I don't work for Mod Podge, the company, or Plaid. But I would almost guess that there's a reason they have two different formulas.
Trisha Keaton says, love the moose. Kim Moore Hardin, I love the moose. Kathleen Uvis wants to see the cloche too.
Right? I am so sad right now. And I have no idea where
you'll find it the moment we go off the air.
Oh, I know. Well, because every other stencil is right here. They're all here together.
Is it possible you took it inside?
No. I mean, I would have no reason to take it inside. Oh, you know what? I may have, though, knowing me. I've been doing stuff on the couch when David goes to sleep at night.
Oh, you say that quiet.
Let's use the globe. We'll use the globe, and I'm going to use the deer because he fits in there right nicely. So we'll do that because that's going to help me. Watch, you guys. This is going to really serve as a really nice guide. So the last time I used my stencil, I used pixie spray on the back. And so I'm not going to spray new pixie spray because it's still kind of tacky. And I'm going to go ahead and use this one.
Yes, Angie, she cleaned it. Yes. Trisha Keaton, what is the dimensions of the Merry Christmas with the deer?
Oh my goodness. You know what? I'll measure in a few minutes. See, look it. George even took my measuring tape off my table. We'll measure it in a few minutes and I'll give you an idea of the dimensions.
Anybody get snow yet? It's early. I'm just curious if anybody's gotten snow yet.
I know Dorothy got hail in those places. I saw her post on Facebook.
Well, we got a little tiny bit of hail, just a couple of pieces on the way home.
Yeah. So people always ask me what's the secret to a nice crisp stencil. It's patience and very little product. So that's my answer and I'm sticking to it. Now for this first pass, I'm not going to be perfect because I'm really just doing it so that I can trim my paper to fit the stencil. Because I'm also going to stencil my bag so that I know exactly where to lay my project and I'll know exactly where to put product. Because I don't want to have a tacky product somewhere else, right?
Corinne Godfrey, yes, got some snow in North Ontario. I had a feeling somebody was getting it. If we're getting this much moisture, I figure up north they might be seeing some snow. I don't know that it's going to stick.
But it might be. It's October. I mean, technically.
Well, Ontario it might stick. Yes, Sally DeJarnay, they're calling for possible flakes in Ohio this week. Okay, let's see. Cindy Adams Olguin. You guys are the cutest couple. If I had to work, if I have to work with my husband every day, one of us would be dead. We do not work together. This is really the only thing we do together.
Yeah.
Work-wise.
Work-wise. Well, I don't know. I bounce things off of you. David is my sounding board because he's the reasonable one. I'm the crazy one. So David helps me stay grounded because otherwise, y'all, it would just be a bigger mess over here.
Kathleen O'Brien Hoovis, why do you have tape on the stencil?
I wanted to, when I used it the last time, I wanted to maintain the shape and the snow separate. You guys will see right now when I use it. So that I can make the snow white and the top of it dark. You guys will see my plans. And so I love these master boards and project block sheets because like we're going to do a whole project and I still have all of this paper left over to do a whole bunch of other projects. And if you're doing something, sometimes the questions I get from customers are questions around like what goes together, what matches, what coordinates. Generally, if you buy a master board or a project block sheet from Roycycled, everything on it is going to go well with each other. And so you could make several projects using this paper and feel confident that it'll all coordinate well together.
On YouTube, let's see. Dreaming Cat Studio agreed with me on the moose. I'm sorry, guys. What can I
I'm
say?
sorry, it's too late for the moose.
Joan Volkman, a friend of mine, gave me a box full of ephemera, vintage beauty tips, menu planning tip brochures, sewing booklets, etc. Dreaming Cat Studio, yes, you can decoupage plates, so I'm guessing that's dishwasher safe.
The dishwasher safe. Yeah. I usually decoupage the back of the plates and then I just figure I can wipe them clean. I'm going to go ahead and spritz this before I put it down on the fabric because I do want it to be secure. Just a light spritz, right? Not super heavy. And then I'm going to wait just a few minutes to let it like get tacky a little bit.
And on YouTube, Handy and Honey said got a half an inch in Chippewa Falls, Wisconsin.
Oh, wow.
What beer is Chippewa Falls?
What beer?
There's a beer. Is that Hams? Uses the water from Chippewa Falls. Handy and Honey, you're gonna have to fill me in. I think it's Hams beer. Wisconsin has its beer. It's a big deal up in Wisconsin.
Oh, okay.
Let's see.
I'm sorry, guys. I didn't lay that as straight as I wanted.
On Facebook, Marty Hardy. It's been 31 in the morning at about 3 for the last 3 days. Barbara Garrels, mountain peaks and high passes in Colorado have had a dusting, but nothing below 7,500 feet. I don't think our mountain's gotten it yet, but we're rainy tonight, so I'm curious.
Yeah, I bet you we'll have some white peaks tomorrow.
Because I forget what our peaks are, what our peak is for the mountain.
What the elevation
is? It's in the 7,000s.
Oh, okay.
Let's
I
see.
am going to take your word for it, darling.
Penny Williams, the weather person, said, I'll tell you when we might see our first flakes coming up. And I turned the TV off.
She don't even want to know.
Don't even want to know. Sonia Hansen, the Peaks and Flagstaff, got quite a bit more coverage last night. They had some a couple of weeks ago. We're 80 miles away. The snow is very visible today. And Deborah Kissinger, it's 64 in El Paso.
Oh, wow. Does El Paso get like snow?
I don't know. I don't know what their elevation is. I've only been a couple times.
I know. One day we were going to Tucson and we just decided to just go the opposite direction. And
yeah, that was me wanting to go to El Paso.
Yeah.
And as you and our son told me on the way back, that's why we didn't want to go.
It's a scary drive.
Well,
honestly,
you don't like the drive. He didn't like, because we were back to school shopping.
Oh, yeah.
And he didn't like what we didn't find.
Well, we found his Vans at the outlet.
Yeah, but he wanted other stuff.
I know. But he wears a size 16, so a win is a win. Just saying.
Yeah. Oh, Leinenkugels. Thank you. It's Chippewa Falls. Amy Bocher or Boker. I don't know. Thank you. Leinenkugels is Chippewa Falls. I knew there was a beer in Chippewa Falls. As well as there's one in Stevens Point.
Is there a beer in like every community?
No.
I was just curious, just asking.
So, Marlene Mack, snow is very peaceful.
Were you in the house?
The first snow was fantastic.
I know. I'm terrible, y'all. I am Arizona, California girl, and we get snow here in Stafford every now and again.
We get a dusting.
I know. We call it snow. David grew up in Chicago, so he calls it a dusting.
It doesn't stay.
Well, the one time it did, remember?
Not since I've been here.
When I drove Jordan to school to take his placement test at EAC at the college, and I drove like 15 miles an hour, and I witnessed like 5 accidents there and back.
I understand that, but it was gone by the afternoon.
I know. We're just not used to it.
Correct.
But no, we don't get like, snow here. Okay. I want to save this, you guys, because I want to make this white. And guess what I found? I'm all excited. I knew I had ordered some diamond dust. And when we were cleaning the shed, I found it. So I do have some diamond dust. I don't know how it would work on the fabric, but I'm guessing if this is just like a gift bag, we should just try it and see what happens. I was watching Mara Lafayette earlier from Vintage Retail Therapy, and she was mixing it with some gel medium. So maybe I'll copy her. We'll see. So I do have some diamond dust here that we may be able to integrate into our project.
Let's see. Because this is going to take a little while because there's a thread going.
Okay.
Penny Williams started calling Leinenkugel's Line Giggles.
Line Giggles.
When it came to Indianapolis back in the 90s. Jenny Marmion, there's breweries everywhere. True, now there's these craft breweries.
Yeah.
But these are beers from back in the day when you had to have an actual brewery and the goal was to get into a store.
Okay.
So
I love the idea of the microbrewery. So I
do too. I'm not arguing that, but I mean these were regional beers.
Yeah.
So Pabst, Miller, those were Milwaukee beers.
My mom worked at Pabst Blue Ribbon in LA.
Leinenkugel, Chippewa Falls, Point was Stevens Point. You had Iron City was Pittsburgh's beer. Lone Star was Texas beer. You had Schmitz was Pennsylvania, I think. Might have been New York, but I thought it was Pennsylvania, Eastern, like Philly. So you had these regional beers, and that was a big thing. So, Carmen Dahmer, there's beer in my fridge. Corinne Godfrey, beer is the official Canadian beverage, eh?
Hi, Corinne. Corinne is ready to choke me out. I know she is. I love you, Corinne. I thought that was Colleen. I don't know. Sorry.
Yeah. Whoever's posting his Roycycled treasures, there's beer in my cup holder.
Probably Jenny Marmion, I bet you.
Yeah. Kathleen Hoovis, spotted cow beer on our Wisconsin border with Illinois. Yeah, Jenny Marmion, anytime she replies, it's coming up as Roycycled treasures.
It's fine, Jenny. We know who you are.
Barbara Carroll's Hams, the land of sky blue waters. You better believe it.
So, you guys, I'm using my fabric Mod Podge, and let me tell you, it's thick. It is like really, really thick. And so we're going to put it on here. I don't want to put it all over though. I only want to put it in the area where I'm going to decoupage the paper. So that's why I put the stencil down first. So that way I kind of know like where I'm going to put it. And I'm going to have to cheat a little bit on this part.
Genesee beer from Rochester, New York. Okay. Shelley Klukas, I love how that you know NW beer, Northwest beer. I don't know. Here's the crazy thing. I drank beer when I was younger. We could remember when I'm of the age when you could be 18 and drink a beer.
Yeah.
Which was wonderful.
By the time I was old enough to drink, you had to be 21.
Yeah. So certainly we drank our beer. Our big thing was we would get Old Style, which was Chicago's beer. That's the one you got at all the ballparks.
Oh, wait, I forgot to put something in between here.
And then if we were being really fancy, we would try and get a Canadian beer. And the one we typically got was Moosehead. But the reason I know a lot of where these beers are from, beer can collecting.
Oh, did you collect beer cans?
There was about a year where all of us in 7th and 8th grade.
In 7th and 8th grade.
Decided we were going to collect beer cans.
In 7th and 8th grade.
We did not collect full beer cans. They were always empty.
I know.
You went through the garbage looking for beer cans.
It's just interesting to me how David and I were watching. What were we watching? And we're like, man, the 80s were just like, you know. Oh, it was the water park.
Oh, yeah.
It's just the idea of middle schoolers collecting beer cans. Like, if that happened today, people would just be like, oh.
And it was a thing, boy. I don't know if that was regional. I don't know if it gripped the country like CB fever.
I remember people collecting beer cans. My mom worked for Pabst Blue Ribbon, and she would collect the off cans, like the ones that were printed incorrectly. I remember her having those.
Yeah. Steel, was it Iron City? Used to do pictures of the Steelers because they're made in Pittsburgh.
Oh, that's a smart marketing.
Yeah, Schmidt. I think it's Schmidt. No, Schaefer. Schaefer used to do different outdoor scenes on their beer cans.
Okay.
So
it's kind of like the what did they used to call them? There used to be old cards that the tobacco companies used to make.
Yeah.
Cabinet cards. Is that what they called them?
Well, I know them from baseball because those were the first baseball cards.
Yeah, but they did all kinds of stuff though.
Right, they did. Yeah. Karen Dietrich Atterbury. Is this a new paper?
This is not. So you guys, I should bring out all the Christmas papers. So one of the things that I committed to do this year was to get the holiday designs out really early so that our makers could have access to product and get their stuff made. Because if you have a booth or a shop, you don't want to wait until October to make your stuff because you want to have it ready to sell. So we actually launched our Christmas designs in June. So a lot of our makers bought, but I'm finding that a lot of our end customers haven't seen the Christmas papers. So this is one of the Christmas papers. It is new in that it's 2022. But it's not like brand new, like we just made it. But yes, it is one of the new Christmas designs. And there are several. I should have brought them all out and showed them today.
On YouTube, Joan Volkman, my nephew started home brewing beer, turned it into a business called, and it's gonna take me a little while, Fermentorium.
Fermentorium. He was fermenting stuff in the basement.
There you go, in Cedarburg, Wisconsin. On Facebook, Connie Burkham. Lithium beer was made in West Bend, Wisconsin. I know where West Bend is. The beer that made Milwaukee jealous.
Ooh.
Well, because one of them was the beer that made Milwaukee famous. Was that Miller? No, Miller was the High Life. Miller High Life. I don't remember. Maybe Pabst was.
The only reason why I have beer in my fridge right now is because I made David some beer battered fish.
Oh, so good.
It was good. And it's a dark lager, so I don't know if I'll ever use it for anything.
Roseanne Incavaria Ross. No snow yet, but nothing compares to the blizzard of 77, 7 feet of snow, walked over cars not knowing they were under you.
Oh, wow.
Where was that? I'm curious where 7 feet were. Although Lisa Bouvier Avery says she remembers it. Northwest Wisconsin beer. Thank you, Shelley. Old Style was Wrigley Field's main beer. Jenny Marmion. You got an Old Style and a hot dog, and it was a Vienna beef hot dog. And
my husband is serious about his hot dogs, y'all. It's a hot dog.
No, Vienna beef. Hey, look, I know New Yorkers feel the same way.
I know.
There's a kosher dog there that they swear by, and it's a very, very good hot dog. But Chicago, it's Vienna's. Pure beef, all beef hot dog. Vienna.
I'm in on the all beef hot dog part. When I don't know. To me, a hot dog is like rolled up bologna. Like, I just don't get that excited about bologna. I'm getting the side eye, y'all.
Cindy, no, you know what? And I'll eat those, but you're right. It's just a tube of bologna.
Yeah. I mean, every now and again I'll get a taste for a hot dog, but for the most part, I'm good. I don't have to have one. I don't have to have bologna either.
Cindy Adams Olguin. I remember when you had to drive over the border to buy Corona. Yes, it was that and Coors. We couldn't get Coors in Chicago for a long time. Really? And then once we got it, we are all like, what's the big deal?
See, it's the not being able to have it that creates the desire for it.
Amy how do I say it, Amy? I'm sorry. Bocher? My husband has boxes of beer cans in the basement. His mother helped him collect. He's from Chippewa Falls. There you go.
Oh, see?
Lisa Vansil, Goebbels used to be college cheap.
We used to drink, Keystone was college cheap.
Yeah, that's after. Old Milwaukee was our college cheap.
Yeah.
Donna Young Anderson, I had Steelers beer cans. Yeah, those were cool to collect because they would have the team can, and then they might have one if Terry Bradshaw had a great year when they won the Super Bowl. They had Pittsburgh Pirates cans too.
So what I'm doing, you guys, just explain to you guys where I am. So I laid down a pretty generous coat of the fabric Mod Podge. And so now I'm going to go in with my dryer and I'm actually going to dry it. We're going to use the iron-on method. I did attempt to use like regular decoupage to decoupage a bag and it came out okay, but I wasn't super happy with it. And so I found that the iron-on method is better. This fabric Mod Podge is so thick and tacky that it's hard to get it down nicely. Um, you know, with using the traditional method. And so I just think the iron-on method is the best method, specifically for the fabric. So I'm gonna dry this. I'm not gonna dry it all the way because we'll be here all night. I want to dry it just enough because I'd actually like to lay down a second coat, a thinner coat, but a second coat of the Mod Podge.
On YouTube, Sandy Henkelman, not sure where you lived in Chicago. Yesterday I had Johnny's in Elmwood Park. So Johnny's was where my mother, that was my mother's first job.
Oh.
Working at Johnny's. And if you go to Johnny's, you have to order a very specific way. My roommate lived in Melrose Park, which is right next door to Elmwood. And matter of fact, he lived like 2 blocks away from Elmwood Park, which was a harness racing horse harness racing.
Okay.
And if you go to Johnny's, you got to order a beef dipped. No, hey, give me an Italian beef juicy with the peppers and the lemonade.
That's how you have to order it?
That's how you. And my friend's Italian. I told you,
yes,
Sicilian. He would make fun of the guys ordering that way.
Oh my goodness!
And I'm like, you realize we both sound the same like that? And he's like, no, they sound stupid. Okay, whatever you say. Let's see. Karen Dietrich Atterbury. I lived in Central Illinois. Attended a girls' school in Milwaukee. This little girl was little girl was, and she was.
So you guys, you guys can't really see what I'm doing. I'm sorry. I just spritzed a little water in here because I want to thin this out a little bit because I want it to move across my surface easier, and I don't want to have this really thick layer of stuff. But I know that I'm gonna want to have 2 layers to get the result that I want. And so the thinner version is gonna spread. You guys see how much easier that's spreading than the other one. So that's what I'm wanting. So the first coat I put on full strength, and then the second coat I just kind of watered it down just a little bit. I didn't want to change the emulsion of it, but I watered it down a little bit just so it spreads across the surface easier.
So we're getting multiple blizzards of 77. I think Chicago got pretty heavy snow that year, if I remember. If that was in January, then I remember it. Buffalo, New York, Ohio shut down for a few days. The Adirondacks. So, and then a couple of people, Nathan's Hot Dogs, I believe, are the New Yorkers' favorite. Sherry Spade Ben Hart. I do not like hot dogs at all.
See, Sherry.
Doreen Good on YouTube. I'm not a hot dog person. I tried watching the Nathan's contest and just gagged. That's disgusting.
Oh, the professional eating?
The July 4th, yeah. Mindy Hogan Cassidy. My dad was an old style man. My grandfather was Meisterbrow.
I remember my uncle drank Olympia.
Amy's Betcher. Thank you, Amy. Jeannie Scott Oliver. I've been in your boot camp all afternoon.
Oh, good. I hope you're enjoying it. I do. If you guys want like an in-depth, and Amy, you can give like an honest opinion about the boot camp, how you feel about the experience and about the teaching in there. If you guys want like an in-depth lesson on decoupage, I do have a decoupage boot camp available. And it's on roycycledacademy.com, and you guys can find it there.
Oh, Mindy Hogan Cassidy, Chicago was 78. You know what? You're right, because I was driving, and I was not driving in 77 because I got into an accident.
Is that the one where you and your friend were on the bridge?
No, no, that was...
How many accidents you been in?
No, that wasn't an accident. That was her making fun of me pretending to be in an accident on the bridge.
No, you guys spun around.
No, that was us coming onto the highway. That we were in college. That was up in Duluth, Minnesota.
I don't know how
No.
many accidents this man been in, y'all.
68, we got a blizzard on, so, excuse me, 78. There was a blizzard in 69 as well. It was New Year's Eve of 77. We got a blizzard. So we decided we weren't going to go out. We were going to be safe. And we'll go out on New Year's Day.
Okay.
So the plows had been out. And we figure, okay, we're good. So it's me and 4 friends. And I'm driving. Well, our plows, by the way, they changed this rule in my town after my accident.
You guys see how easy I was able to lay that down now, as opposed to trying to like do it wet. Super easy. I'm gonna iron that on. Sorry, baby, I'm not interrupting you. I just want to. Now, if I were like totally prepared, I would have some parchment paper to put over this, because I do want to protect the paper from my iron. Or I would have, and I can't remember the name of it. You guys know the mesh that you can buy. They use it when they press shirts, which I have like 4 of those, and I couldn't find one of those either. I know somebody knows what I'm talking about. And you can use those over and over again. But I think today I'm going to have to just cheat and I'm going to just use some brown paper.
Roseanne and Ross, do you need to put wax or parchment paper in the bag to keep product from leaking through?
Thank you so much, because we were chit-chatting. I forgot. I just put some brown paper in here. Wax paper may have been a better choice because it's not going to stick, but it doesn't bleed through that much. And so I do have just some brown paper tucked under there so that it doesn't bleed through. Thank you.
We're kind of all Teflon sheets, Marlene.
Thank you. And I have like, I don't even know how many Teflon sheets, but I couldn't find anything. So I will just use some brown paper, and we're going to hope everything works out. I'm feeling tackiness. It's freaking me out.
We have multiple chatting tonight.
That's good. Thank you guys so much for coming on. I know we were late tonight, and I'm a little frazzled. My energy is all weird, but we are all here together, so it's good.
On YouTube, Luann Vassallo, Connecticut had a blizzard in 78. 2 feet of snow, 70-mile-an-hour winds.
70?
Yeah. In Connecticut. Dreaming Cat Studio, not a beer, sports, or hot dog person. I'm an art, wine, and steak person.
See? That's yeah.
Marlene Mack says wax paper will melt when you iron it.
Yes. No, I'm not going to use wax paper because I don't want to. Oh, I see what you're saying. If I would have put it under there, you make a valid point. I was just thinking it wouldn't stick. I have a little bit of product on top, you guys, so I'm trying to be careful. Because I don't want to iron the paper onto my.
And can I ask everybody, go ahead and like and share.
Yeah.
You can.
Thank you.
We always like it when you do. That way more people get to see and join in and tell us what beer is bad and good. And
no, they're going to join in and say, you guys chit-chat too much.
Yeah.
That's what we get from the new people who come in.
And Nancy Barthuli says, I just jumped on. People do drive over the border to Kenosha for Spotted Cow all the time. When did Spotted Cow beer start? Because I don't recall that.
I'm going to use fabric, you guys, because my paper is sticking and coming off on my paper. I'm thinking that the fabric won't come off on there if it sticks a little bit as easily, because this is just really thin. Just for the record, parchment paper or Teflon sheets would be a much better option for this, but I don't have either, so I am improvising.
And that's what Dreamy Cat says on YouTube, parchment paper works.
Yes, parchment paper or Teflon sheets is what I normally use.
Yeah.
I just don't have them within arm's reach. Between getting here like 10 minutes before we're scheduled to go live and us cleaning up the shed this week.
So Amy,
I can't find anything.
Amy Betcher says, I like how you're working in a tiny space just like me. Actually, it's not a tiny space.
No, I have you guys zoomed in so you can see exactly what I'm doing.
This is like a double wide mobile home.
Well, I mean,
it's about the size.
A double wide?
No, maybe a single wide.
Like a single wide, yeah.
It's about the size of a single wide mobile home.
So I have one of those. You guys know those like tough sheds, the ones that are pre-built. I wanted to have my own like studio workspace. That and my husband wanted to have a house. Let's just be honest. So we got one of these, and then we like insulated it and did the walls and everything. So I have my own little kind of studio space out here in the backyard. Isn't that so cute? I'm sorry. I'm like genuinely excited. I'm not being facetious. That
So
is too cute. And so I'm going to just check a couple of areas and make sure that I've tacked everything down. Um, but like this is adhered and it's beautifully laid down, right? I don't have any wrinkles. I'm not fighting with it. And even though I use the Mod Podge, so this is what I like to do. I'm going to go over the top of this with some really thin down fabric Mod Podge. And then I'm going to do a final coat of using varnish. And while I won't be able to throw this in the washing machine, you will be able to wipe this clean.
and use it. That's the big thing, is use it.
Well, yeah, because I was thinking, like, if you gave somebody a gift, I feel like I'm zoomed in too tight. Let me pull back just a little bit. I feel like if you gave this super cute bag, right? And you had a gift in there. Excuse me. You could even hang like a custom tag on there. And that would be super fun. And I don't know. I keep telling all my friends that COVID broke me. But I think that what it did was just highlight the things that are genuinely important in my life. And I don't know, things like gift giving and just doing special things for the people who really make a difference in your life is just, I don't know. And it doesn't have to be super hard or super expensive either, but it can be meaningful.
So Spotted Cow came into being about 10 years ago. That explains it. I left Illinois 30 years ago.
You've been gone for a minute, baby.
Yeah. So
I'm trying to line my stencil back up because a portion of my paper goes down. Oh, I know what I did. I didn't want to do that one, so I didn't.
Pam Knight asks, could you decoupage both sides of the bag?
You could. You absolutely could. I would let this side like rest for probably a little bit, so that in case you reactivated things, you'd be less likely to if you let your clear coats rest a bit. But yes, absolutely.
Amber Demakowitz, no, there are no boot camps planned for right now because we've got Pinners.
Yeah, Pinners Conference is coming up November 11th and 12th in Scottsdale. So right now, all of our energy is being spent prepping for that. I was going to try and teach a class in the fourth quarter. We had talked about doing paper mache, which I'm still working on the course, but I just don't think that I can deliver it in a way that I would be proud of, honestly, with my schedule right now. With the launching of the stencils and with pinners coming up, and then we have a launch of new stuff that'll be coming. Well, you guys won't see it, but the retailers will be seeing it coming up next month. There's just a lot right now, and so rather than try to do everything and maybe not do the best job, I figured I would just try to focus and do these things really well.
Carolyn Holly Keller is a little late and apologizes, but that's
No worries.
okay.
Hey, we were late too, girl.
Yeah. Is the black part of the globe done with embossing powder?
No, I just use regular chalk style paint for that, you guys. The one thing that I do love about Wise Owl paint is that it sets. So as soon as I iron that with my iron, I don't have to worry about that paint moving. It's going to be set there. So I don't even have to seal it or anything. It's good to go. Um, which I'll probably go over the whole thing, everything in the square with just a top coat to make sure everything is protected, but I don't have to. It's not like it's going to be color fast. No, wait. I always do that backwards. It is color fast. Excuse me.
So this seems like the kind of thing you could do to do a joint gift. By that I mean you do the bag and somebody who bakes or cans
Ooh, can put the gift inside of
can
it.
put that inside and somebody gets a twofer.
A twofer is always good, baby.
Yeah.
And so I have my paint here and I have my diamond dust. So I can't decide. You guys can help me. I know we have experts in the room. So should I mix my diamond dust with gel medium and just stipple it on top of the white paint? Or should I just sprinkle it over the paint? I'm feeling like the gel medium would probably be a better option. I was watching Mara from Vintage retail therapy earlier tonight, and she was mixing it in the gel medium, and I thought that was a really good idea. And I know somebody is cringing watching me use my scissors. I know. So this is the diamond dust, you guys. Isn't it beautifully sparkly? I think we need a little bit of sparkly. I'm going to put a layer of paint on here, and then I think I'm going to go in with my diamond dust and the gel medium over the top of the paint. And I kind of want that background from the bottom of the deer to show through a little bit. So I'm just going to put a really light coat.
Amber says gel medium. And then she said it again. To emphasize, it should be gel medium.
Gel medium.
Jenny Marmion just became a Wise Owl retailer.
Oh.
It's on tomorrow's list of to-dos to unpack.
Congratulations, Miss Jenny. I know that was a big move for you. Jenny just retired from teaching to do this full time. So she is.
Corey Christensen says she used heavy body gel.
Yes, she used heavy body gel. I'm just going to use gel medium because that's what I have on my table. You guys remember, I don't know if you guys remember our conversations or if it just sounds like a bunch of madness to you, but a few weeks ago we talked about how sometimes when you feel like you don't have everything that you need when you sit down to do a project, and that you feel like you have to go out and buy something new. And we were just talking about how chances are you have what you need, right? Because we're all serial crafters. It's just a matter of being creative and really thinking about how you can use something that you already have. And so I'm going to use the gel medium that I have because I know that that's going to do what I need it to do rather than me buying another product. I cannot tell a lie, y'all. So that's what I'm going to do. And I'm just going in. These lines inside of the stencil are meant to be like reflections. You guys know how the glass reflects the light, right? So I'm just going in and adding a little white paint along those lines. Um, and
Dreaming Cat Studio will gel dull dust.
I don't know. We're gonna see together, and if it does, I can just sprinkle a little bit more on top. But you make it. That's a valid question, though. And I probably should have sealed over the top of this before doing all this. So, you guys are doing this. Seal your paper first. Do as I say, not as I do. Seal your paper first. That way, your paper won't reactivate as much when you put new products on top of it, and you'll be less likely to it gives you more creative freedom. So if you don't like something and your paper is sealed, you can wipe it back, for instance, right?
Mindy Hogan Cassidy, of course we have what we need, but can we find it?
That is very valid, Mindy. You have no idea. You have no idea. Very valid. I don't know if this is if this is clear though.
We are at 1 hour.
Are we?
We are.
And this is not clear. So I do have a clear medium, but I don't know if I have it right here. So this is what I'm going to do. I have the Farmhouse Fusion Crystal, the Farmhouse Paint Crystal Fusion. Sherry Bernhardt sent me this. And this is a glass bead gel. So this is what we're going to do. I'm going to take some of my glass bead gel and sprinkle some diamond dust on it. And then I'm going to stipple it on here. Not super heavy because this is fabric, but I think that'll be okay.
Marlene Mack, when you are done, will you put a final coat of fabric Mod Podge on top?
I will. Let me do that right now before I do anything else. I'm going to put a coat of fabric Mod Podge on top, and I did not do a good job of trimming that. And I'm also going to put a coat of, como se dice, varnish on the top, because I want this to be super durable.
Joan Volkman, what about using bead gel to look like frost on the globe?
Yeah, so I'm going to use the bead gel, and I'm going to mix some diamond dust in it. We want maximum reflection. I am trimming my paper. I'm not happy with the way that I trimmed it. And so I'm going to try to do it without destroying my project. We will see what happens. And I can't talk and concentrate at the same time. So you guys will have to just.
I'm busy fighting hiccups, so thank
You,
goodness we don't have microphones
you've
today.
been drinking, baby?
Yes, heavily.
Why do they all remember back in the cartoons when somebody was like drinking? They always had them with hiccups. Like, I don't understand that. I don't know if I've ever had hiccups after drinking.
I've been getting it more and more as I age. I'm not sure why.
Hmm.
I assume there's something.
Man, I did a TikTok today. I posted it today. My cousin, I wonder, is Drea on tonight?
Have not seen her. Luann Vassallo asked what type of varnish.
I'm going to be using Wise Owl's varnish, but I'm sure you could use whatever varnish that you have, right? On your workspace or on your craft in your craft space. As long as it's clear and it's durable and it's water based. That's important too. So this is the fabric Mod Podge, but I'm gonna water this coat down like a lot because it's super tacky, you guys, and I don't want to risk dragging it across my paper and um, like undoing all the wonderfulness that we've done so far. Isn't that deer just the cutest? And you see how the white makes it look like the glass is reflecting love. You guys have no idea the joy that it brings me to come and hang out with you guys on Sundays because I legit don't get to create as often as I used to. And you guys make me sit down and create. And we get to hang out and talk about stuff. I put a post up that made me laugh so hard. It said, when I say the other day, it could be, or a while ago, it could be like yesterday or it could be the year I was born and any time in between. And the number of you who like felt me on that just cracked me up so much because it's true. Because in my mind, something that happened a year ago can feel like it happened yesterday.
Marlene Mack asks, what about water-based polyacrylic?
Yes, that would work too, Marlene. So I just, you guys see that? I watered that down. I used very little and I went over the top and I'm just going over the top of the paper and I'm going to dry that really quick with my dryer before we move on to our glass bead gel and diamond dust. I think I'm done with this iron. I'm going to turn that off before I burn my arm. This little thing gets hot. Like if I burn my arm, y'all, David would have to take me to the hospital tonight.
I'm not up for the hospital.
I remember when my boys were young, I would tell them, you know how boys are. Like they were always doing something dangerous. It's like, look, I do not feel like going to the ER tonight. You're going to have to cut that out. Like, I'm not up for that.
Dreaming Cat Studio just checked a video about diamond dust. He used Liquitex to adhere it, so I'm guessing your gel will be fine. He did say that it is glass, so be careful about inhaling and touching it.
Yes. And I did know, yeah, it is actually glass. But we're just going to use a brush. So we're going to be super careful. But yes. But that's why it's so glittery and beautiful. Right?
Joan Volkman, I love how interactive the communication is.
Oh, thank you, Joan.
And Jenny Marmion, I'm so addicted. My husband says, "What time is Royce on?" That's a big deal.
Royce is late tonight, right? But you guys know what? Like, we could have, we were tempted, honestly, to be like, we'll just put a post that we're sorry we're not going to be live tonight.
Because we really weren't sure if we were going to make it.
Oh, I know.
Because anytime you have to leave the highway, and the highway was jammed today.
There are a lot of people traveling.
To leave the highway to go into the city, you never know what's going to happen. A 5-minute drive could be 30, or you could be there in the blink of an eye.
I think it's funny. This is really tacky, and I want to put my stencil back over the top. So we're gonna freehand our like stuff here. And I don't know if I'm happy with that white. Like I wanted it to show through, but I'm having mixed emotions about how it's showing through. I should probably leave it alone, huh? Just walk away, Royce. Leave it alone. Sometimes I don't know when to quit.
The white is jumping out hard from the paper and the bag.
It is, but it's supposed to be snow.
I know, I'm just letting you know.
Yeah.
I'm not saying it's a bad thing, I'm just saying it is.
Yes.
Because the paper is tan, more tan than the bag is.
Yes.
That the white really jumps, and the white on the deer isn't as bright.
Oh, though his whites, his little dots. I don't know. They are kind of bright. They're just smaller, I think. I think it's fabulous.
I'm not saying it's bad. I'm just saying.
I know. I hear you, baby. I appreciate your input. But to me, it's more of the texture on the white that's bothering me. But I think I'm going to fix that right now when I go in with the Diamond Dust and the glass bead gel.
Sherry Spade Benhart asks, can you add some small peaks?
That's what I'm going to do, Sherry. So I'm going to go in with the glass bead gel and the Diamond Dust, and I'm going to stipple it on there. We're not going to go super thick though, right? Because this is fabric and we don't want it kind of flaking off. But I do want to add some texture to that snow. And I want to put my stencil back over the top to go in to add something to my lit areas, but I think I'm going to have to freehand. And so this is just like glass bead gels. They're like really, they're just smaller, which is actually nice to kind of have that variation. I think that's going to make it look really nice. And let me clean this brush.
And we have a new viewer, Kelly Morgan.
Hi, Kelly.
She came in a little late. She said that she'll catch the rest on replay. Thank you.
And never mind. I'm always a hot mess, Kelly, just so you know.
Dreaming Cat Studio says you can put a little tiny bit of blue on the snow.
Ooh, that would be pretty. I'm going to mix in my shiny and see what happens. And of course, it looks white right now, right? The glass bead gel. But when it dries, it's going to dry clear. So that all that'll be left is the glass beads and the Diamond Dust. I want to put some more Diamond Dust in there. I really want it to be kind of sparkly. And it's hard to tell how it's going to look. We won't know until it dries. I almost feel like the Diamond Dust in clear bead gel would have been better because the glass beads are larger. I don't want to leave it on there too thick, but...
Joan Volkman, love this project. Great gift idea. Yeah. Yeah, like I say, this will be the way to get a 2-for-1 out of it.
A twofer. And you could crank these out pretty fast. I mean, I'm going through everything super slow because I'm talking you guys through each of the steps. But really, if you guys wanted to make like a few of these, especially if you had help, like from the kids or something, you could crank these out fairly quickly. Or if you guys wanted to be simple, you could just tape off and just, decoupage a square in the middle. But you guys know the deal. Seldom am I simple. If there's anything I can do, I can figure out how to overcomplicate something.
I'll be honest, just the moose I think would have looked good.
I mean, that's why I said I could have just cut out the moose and decoupaged him in the middle. And then, because what I was thinking of, so I had started doing it, and what I was thinking about doing was just putting the moose, and I was going to put a line of tape and then put another line of tape so that I could paint a really nice frame. Yeah. Which, if we had time, I would do that, but I think we're out of time.
That sounds like a great project with the kids' grandkids.
Ooh, that would be fun.
If your grown-up kids are coming, you could do it with them if the grandkids are coming. Because that doesn't seem like it's too labor-intensive, right?
even if you did, like, let's say if you did the decoupage portion, right, ahead of time, and then they got to come in and embellish it. Because they could use glue and glue on other elements, stars, lace, different things like that. That would be beautiful. And I think that would be fun. I can't wait until my little one gets big enough. Right now, it's just not gonna happen. He is just not having it. He likes to play with my supplies, but he doesn't like to make anything.
Kim Comp Rogers, we are not seeing anything freeze here. She's frozen. She's asking for anyone else.
Is anybody else frozen? I want to go in, you guys, and just hit my highlights here with a little bit of my diamond dust and my
No, we
gel.
didn't think you were physically frozen. That it's that cold. No, I knew you meant the screen. You're okay. Let's see. Joan Volkman, how about putting a little dusting of white on the plant?
Oh, to make it look like, oh, we can put a little bit of, oh, I should have put, that's a good idea, Joan. So that it looks like the snow is like falling on the plant a little bit too.
Dreaming Cat Studio, just a moose wouldn't learn all this cool stuff. No, I'm saying just the moose for like a project with the kids.
Yeah, you could take this project and simplify it with the little people.
Or you can make it intricate as well, depending on how confident you are with the youngsters. We have a friend of ours that does paint and takes with her daughter, and it's her adult daughter.
Yes, Tabitha and
Chelsea.
Chelsea, thank you. You saved me, baby. I don't know. And Chelsea looks like a Chelsea. I do not know why I always forget her name.
So, I mean, there's a mother daughter that's now they're doing it with others, but they started doing it together. So,
yes.
Yeah.
And so I'm just going through, and you guys can't really see this part. I'll have to show it in the final result, like the picture of the final project. But imagine if or you could just decoupage the individual pieces too. Like if I wanted to just cut this deer out and just decoupage him on there, I could do that. Of course, I was thinking I probably have to decoupage the back of the paper and let it dry. Ooh, I'm going to experiment with that idea.
Kathleen O'Brien Hoovis, if we don't have fabric decoupage, what can we use and still do the iron-on method?
I don't know. I'm going to experiment and let you guys know. I know that Carmen did a project on Carmen's Curiosity Shop on her YouTube channel. Carmen, are you still here? If you can tell us the name of the project at least so they can look it up, because Carmen used a mixture of items to kind of create her own decoupage medium. And she did a fabric because she actually decoupaged the lamb onto fabric and then she made a freaking pillow. It was fabulous. Do I have it here? I don't think I do. I don't have a picture of it here, but
it's worth just subscribing to Carmen's YouTube page.
It is. It really is. She's always super creative. Like, I don't know how she thinks of half the stuff that she does. I really don't.
Marlene Mack, I'm working on a craft show. Now my brain is exploding.
Right, Marlene? Because so I was torn between doing a gift bag or doing a pillow sham. So even if you're gonna, the holidays are right around the corner. I don't know if you guys are ready to start talking about Christmas yet, but if you are, for most of us who are creators, we're already thinking about Christmas because we have to make this stuff, right? So like pillow shams would be so fun. You could decoupage onto a pillow sham and you clear coat it and put it on the couch, and now you have something super custom for Christmas. Okay. And so I pulled out my letterpress stamps, but I'm thinking that we'll just talk about it because I'm out of time because I was late tonight. It's already 7:32. I'm already late. But so 2 things I'm going to do before I show you guys final photos of this project. I am going to put a second piece of tape. I want to show you guys really quick how to do it so that you guys can see what I'm talking about. I'm going to put a second piece of tape here. I have like different widths of tape on my table. But this is how I cheat. I'm going to use a second width of tape and I'm putting it like right here. And then I'm going to pull this one off. And now I know that when I go to paint this, that this is going to be the perfect width and that they're all going to be the same. And so I'm going to do the same thing all the way around, right? So that I have this really nice, beautiful edge. And I think I'm going to go in. I don't know if you guys can see this, but let me pick it up. This paper has like a really super, like, subtle kind of a green cast to it. And I think if I go around with a really soft green, that'll be really pretty. Um, but I will show you guys this. I was hoping to show you guys the one fabric one that I did because I've already done one and I was able to scrunch it up and everything, and it's perfectly fine. And so I'll wait for all this to dry, and then I'll go over and do a final coat of the varnish on this in order to set all this. And I'm gonna have to work out what I'm gonna put in here. I guess I could put Damar, huh?
Yeah.
That's what I'll do. I'll put my grandbaby's name on there. So I'm gonna put my grandbaby's name inside of here. I think I'm gonna paint this white though, and then put my grandbaby's name in there. I may do use the green though. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see what I decide to do. But then I can use the letterpress stamp from Iron Orchid Design, and I can put his name on here. So that's something that you can do with anybody, right? You can always stamp and or stencil their names on it to make it super custom. And it's something from you and it's something useful. So even if they use your bag to go to the grocery store for the rest of the year, it's something that's really useful, and that's really functional that they can use even after the holidays have gone by. So it's not like a throwaway craft, right?
Kathleen Hoovis, how do you tape? How do you do the tape on the edges, corners?
Well, it's going to make a corner naturally. So let me show you this transition here. So I'm going to do this piece here, right? And I'm not going to overlap the top on either side.
Kim Comp Rogers, I'm working on painting furniture, frames, baskets, etc. for sale and display in my shop. I have a bunch of blank tote bags. Think I might try what you're doing. Do I order the stencil from you or a retailer? From a retailer.
From a retailer. And if we have retailers who are on live tonight, I'm imagining that she has a retailer that she deals with. I'm assuming. So I just have to make sure that this corner is clean, which I can do with my scissors, right? It doesn't have to be super complicated. But now, of course, it's tearing. But I'm going to take this tape off. And on my corners, I can just go in with a pair of scissors and just make sure that they're super clean.
Patricia Cassida, I don't know. I know I screw your name up every time. Is the stamp ink permanent?
Yes. So I use paint. I use Wise Out paint today to use on my stencil. But if you use the IOD Iron Orchid Design ink is permanent. You just have to either leave it for a little while to let it cure, or you can cheat like I always do and apply heat.
Your head is right over the corner.
Oh, the corner that I'm showing them.
Yeah.
Oh, that's not helpful, is it? So if your corner's a little jagged, you can just like use your scissors to clean that up, and then you'll have like a nice straight corner. And so, I'm basically creating a frame that I can go in and paint to frame this out if I want. Or you could glue on a ribbon, right? You could glue on some lace. Like, you guys can go crazy on these, and you could make it uniquely you or uniquely the person for whom you're creating for. I always find that that's the fun part, is just thinking about what somebody loves. And so just really quickly, because I know that we used quite a few things tonight. We did use the Roycycled globe stencil tonight. And we used the Roycycled Christmas masterboard decoupage paper. And of course, the piece I used is missing, but there's still plenty of goodness. And there are other things that we could have used, right, for this project. I used Mod Podge's fabric decoupage medium, and I used Farmhouse Paint Crystal Fusion. It's a bead gel. Close that right. And I used some Posh diamond dust too. What else did I use, babe? That's it.
Uh,
And of course, I'm
paint.
gonna seal with Wise Owl's varnish after everything sets up.
What paint did you use for the?
Oh, I use Wise Owl's Antique Via for the paint. I'm sorry, I'm pulling a little bit of those beads off. I don't want to have it be really like high for this project, like I did with the other globe that was on a wood panel. So I'm gonna let those chill out and just settle in. And I think that's super cute. And I think that's all we have for tonight. We are going to be in Scottsdale, Arizona in just a few weeks. If you guys want to come out and hang out with us, I'll be teaching a class at Pinners, but we'll be doing make and takes in our booth like all weekend. Super cute make and takes. I actually made a paper. I designed 2 papers just for Pinners Conference. And if you want more information, you can put hashtag Pinners in the comments and you guys will get a message with that information. Is there anything else, baby, that I can think of right now?
No, Pinners is the big thing. We want to see you there.
I know. Pinners is so fun.
If you come by, you have to take a photo.
Yes.
Royce will get too busy and forget to take photos with everybody because you're busy.
Yes.
You're really, really
busy. I took a lot of selfies last year.
Yeah, but I have to remind you, and I should never have to remind you to take photos. Because you're the photo queen.
He's like calling me out. Y'all hear that? Y'all hear him calling me out, right?
But if you come by, you have to say, I need to take a photo.
Yes, and I will take a photo.
Yes.
We took a lot of selfies last year, and I love seeing everybody.
Yes, that is Christmas Master Board. Donna Trobaugh, do you have a video on the pumpkin decoupage paper you can tag me in?
I do. I just uploaded one today on the Roycycled Treasures Facebook page. Like literally, I just uploaded a reel a couple of hours ago. So if you come out of the live and scroll down, the very next post that you'll see will be the pumpkin decoupage post.
There you go. Alrighty.
And I think that's all we have. Look, I'm so impatient, you guys. I'm going with the varnish because I can't wait for everything to dry. But I'm going to stop now before I mess something up. But that's it. Thank you guys so much for coming and hanging out with us today. I really appreciate each and every one of you. I just want you guys to remember that there is not anything that you guys have seen me do here today that you guys cannot absolutely do. You can do this. You can do it today. If you do not belong to the Roycycled Upcycling or Decoupage group, make sure that you join so that you guys can share your projects and I can see them and we can celebrate you. I think that's it. Yes. Alrighty. Thank you guys so much. You guys have a beautiful week and we will see you next Sunday. Same channel, same time.